Hello there, my name is Duncan Bremner. I'm a Senior Lecturer and Programme Director on the Glasgow College in UASTC in Chengdu. I teach electronic engineering, and part of my background is I've been a project manager and I've run many projects within industry over the last 40 years. Here's a picture of the Glasgow College in Chengdu. This is one of the teaching buildings. It's a beautiful sunny day, which is a rare sight in Chengdu because it's very often overcast and cloudy, even though the weather can be quite warm there. It actually is one of the few places in the world that has weather worse than Glasgow. The objective of this course is to look at the fundamentals of project management, to provide you with a framework to assist you on how you manage your projects and your team on the ISDP4 project over the next 5 months, and also prepare you for some of the aspects that you want to include in the business plan for the proposed project, which you will present at the end of the project. And we'll also try and give you a flavour of why project management is so important to real-world engineering. First question I'd like to ask is, what is a project? Most of you may think you know what a project is, but there is a formal definition of a project. A project is a unique endeavour with a definable start and a finish, and it has to achieve certain objectives in meeting those. A project always moves from a current state into a new desired state. This is unlike an operation, which perhaps making hamburgers in McDonald's would be a good example, is that they do it all day, every day. They repeat the same process. In a project, it's a unique endeavour. It's a new thing. Perhaps building a new McDonald's restaurant may be a project, but the general running of operations within that McDonald's restaurant would not be classified as a project. And project and the project managers are always constrained by 3 constraints: the scope of the project, how much you can do; the cost of the project, how much you will spend; and the time of the project, how long will it take to go from the current state to the desired state. Scope is what you will deliver. It may be a piece of software, it could be installation of a power system, it could be a new circuit, it could be a new piece of mechanical engineering. It could even be the delivery of a board paper on a proposed new investment. For costs, it's fairly obvious, but it may cover the cost of materials and also the labour associated with building the project. It could also cover things like legal fees or license fees if you're licensing in a large piece of technology from another company. It would also cover the cost of patents. Registering patents is not cheap, and that's all part of your cost. And finally, the time is fairly obvious. It's when the project will start and when the project will finish. And also, it will be governed by the passage of key milestones. These may be initial design, final design, construction of the project, commissioning, testing, and finally, end user training, because a project is not complete until the end user has accepted the project and delivery. Here's a question for you all to consider when you're thinking about projects. Consider why project managers are always balancing these 3 constraints of scope, time, and cost. Have a think about that when you're planning your projects. In the next lecture, we'll look at what a project manager actually does. But for now, this is the end of part 1. Thank you very much, and I'll see you again in part 2.